Great Outdoors. We're looking for your kid's first catch or even your first big buck. There's a simple, easy form you can fill out on your phone or computer at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. Send us your story, send us your pick. centralillinoisoutdoors.com and the Catch of the Week, brought to you by Archer's Alley, North 22nd Street in Decatur.
News time is 11 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The DeWitt County Board is continuing its pursuit of the sale of the Clinton Lake Marina, and the board chair says there was a brief snag in the process, but things should be worked out soon. The county has been exploring the process of selling the Clinton Lake Marina to get the county out of the business of the marina. Dan Matthews indicates the lease with the current operator is nearing its end, so the county needs to get things together to go out for proposal.
Well, Seth, we're coming to the end of our lease with our current management company that's been out there for almost 5 years. We're 2 months away from that lease ending. So we're preparing to put out an RFP to see if we get the type of proposals we want so that then the board can decide if we're going to sell the marina, operate it ourselves, or look to hire a new management company. So one of the motions on the board was this past week was for Mr. Markwell to work with the current attorney for the 1125 property management to close out their lease. So he'll be working with that to finalize all of that. So that's clean and clear so we can move forward after the first of the year with the RFP process. We've had a number of people that have inquired about it, both individuals, other marinas. There's a whole lot of interest in buying the marina.
Much discussion has taken place around the area regarding the sale of the marina already. Matthews confirms the marina was accidentally sold in a sale of a parcel of property last year in DeWitt County, but he hopes the issue has allowed that to happen will be cleared up soon.
I can't go into a whole lot of detail, but I can tell you there was a paperwork mistake made after the sale of the 75 acres to the south of the marina property, which when we say we're selling the marina, we're talking about 3 parcels to what everyone consider as you pull into the marina property itself, the road that goes back to all the docks and things like that. But we're pretty sure that's been cleared up now, and the county still owns the marina, and the county will be moving forward with the RFP shortly after the first of the year to sell the marina. Or, as I said before, the full board has to decide that they are going to sell the marina.
Matthews does not rule out the possibility of there being a temporary lapse in the management of the marina, but he points out that would be this winter when there's very little activity out there.
There could be. It depends on, how quickly we can get the RFP out there and then get it to the board and say, yes, this is a good deal for the county. These are the kind of people that we want to run the marina, develop the marina, do all the things that are going to, which I think are going to make the marina better than what we do today. But so in the meantime, November 1st to say March 31st, that 5 months since we're in central Illinois, there's not a whole lot that goes on out there. I mean, there's a few boaters that are out there almost all year long, and they really enjoy being out there no matter the weather or just getting away. And, they've got houseboats and things like that. So there's people out there. So we keep the building open. But the water gets shut off here in a couple weeks to all the docks, just so it's not, the freezing and thawing, and we don't have broken pipes and things like that. So once the current marina managers are gone, we probably have county personnel keep track of what's going on at the marina, any maintenance that needs done up until the time we decide what we're going to do.
The DeWitt County Board also put the levies on file for 2024 last week, as well as the budget. The Heyworth High School football team has turned its program around in a year, and it has been such a success this fall. They will host a playoff game this Saturday. Dr. Lisa Taylor is the superintendent of Heyworth Schools and says this fall has been one to remember with the resurgence of their football program.
Yeah, so it was like a really smooth start to school and just great energy. And, we kind of eased into it and it was real calm. And then fall sports kicked off, and I feel like it's been a race ever since. So it's been an exciting fall. All of our teams are doing really well, and just really excited about football playoffs this weekend. I think they have surpassed everybody's expectations. You know, he's a third-year coach here, I believe. And as you said, like, I mean, I think when he came and he was hired, like, football was starting the next week, we had like 19 kids or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we're mostly freshmen and sophomores. We have some upper class leadership, but it's just, everybody's hoping to win a few games this year. I think that would have been a realistic goal, and to come out and be where we are and then to host a playoff game. I think it's the first playoff since 2008, first conference championship in many years, sharing that conference championship. And so, as you can imagine, the whole town is excited. It's Hornet pride everywhere. And, we'll just be proud of our kids no matter what they do.
Dr. Taylor touts the school's game day atmosphere as they have added a tailgating component for those who want to do that. She feels it adds to the community support.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge we have is parking. And, we added a new lot with 50 spots, but there will be cars. I mean, even for our games so far, they come out win or lose. Our fans do, which is amazing. But as you can imagine, it's twice that now. And the big race is to get to a parking spot and, in the grass or in the neighborhood or whatever, but it's a great problem to have. So our new parking lot is right next to the football stadium. And so we sell tailgate passes at the beginning of the year, which includes your tickets to the game. And so every game, I mean, it feels very much like a college atmosphere, and you walk into our stadium by this tailgating lot, and Doc Lemke's out here smoking ribs, and I mean, there's food everywhere and everyone's sharing, and it's just the best atmosphere. Kids running around playing football, and I couldn't ask for a better place to be.
Heyworth hosts Hardin Calhoun Saturday at 2. Teachers and staff in the Central A&M School District had the opportunity recently to visit the campus of Kemmerer Village. Sasha Young is the first-year Central A&M superintendent and the former Clinton Elementary School principal. She and many other Central A&M staffers heard from Josh Shipp, who she says was able to provide powerful words during their time on the campus.
We were invited to attend a presentation with Kemmerer Village staff and board of directors on October 6th. And so we spent pretty much the entire day. The presenter's name was Josh Shipp, and his whole mission is to encourage educators and people who work with students or foster students or students that come from trauma, that it really just takes one caring adult to make a difference in the life of a kid. Yeah. So his morning presentation was amazing. It was all about him growing up in foster care and who his one caring adult was. Later in his, teen years, he fell into a home that the parents were just not going to give up on him. And he comments how he tried, so hard to get out of that house, even though they were good people. He just was in a bad place. And so he talked all about his foster parents, and then we had the opportunity to stay for lunch, and we had lunch together as a group. And it was a great opportunity to collaborate with some of our colleagues at Kemmerer that we don't get to see very often.
Discussions ensued over how to help children struggling in foster care situations. Young says the staff was challenged by putting themselves in the place of the caring adult who is there to make a difference.
Our secondary session in the afternoon was kind of him challenging the educators and the Kemmerer Village staff and the board of directors to be that one caring adult for someone. So he gave some strategies and some tips and some real life skills and research on how to help kids who might be in a foster care situation, or how to help kids who might be living with trauma, how to support kids who just kind of need you to not give up on them. Yeah. So it was an amazing day. And here at Central A&M, we were so thankful that Kemmerer invited us to be a part of that with them.
Young describes the reactions from her educators and staff.
I have just heard that they love the opportunity to be at Kemmerer Village. They love the opportunity to work with people they didn't get to, and collaborate with people that they don't get to see often. And then just the fact that he was just such an inspiring speaker that he kind of gave everyone a refreshed look at what they do every day. Yeah. Challenged them to be more involved and to have those conversations and to hold those kids accountable in the name of, I'm not giving up on you. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard a lot of great feedback. I think it was well worth our day.
Young says the teachers and staff of Central A&M schools appreciated their time at Kremer Village and now enter their classrooms with a new passion for being each child's caring adults. News time, 21 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. Plenty more coming your way on the WHOW Morning Show.
Looking for Chevrolet inventory? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. We have the all-new Chevrolet Trax, Blazer, and Trailblazers coming. Plus, several Chevrolet Equinoxes and Traverses are here. This month, take advantage of extra $1,000 trade-in assistance on your trade. There's always a need for quality trades here at Baum's. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
News time, 22 minutes after the hour. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. One of Shelbyville's largest holiday attractions will be making its way soon to Forest Park in Shelbyville. The Festival of Lights opens November 17th. Bill Bly, Director of Operations for the Festival of Lights, has been involved for 20 years and explains his role and how the festival got its start.
Yes, it's my 20th year.
That's amazing.
Been a long time.
Yeah. So I know you enjoy what you're doing.
Yes, it's always try to improve, make it look better every year. So it's a challenge.
How'd the Festival of Lights get started, Bill?
Well, the group of people got the lights from Eagle Creek and put them out here, and they maintained them for a while. Then everybody quit, and I was working for them at the time, and they asked me to come get things started.
Yeah.
They send somebody out to take over. I'm still waiting for that person to take over.
Yeah.
So I've been taking care of it ever since. They divided up the different places, like Windsor and all the stuff surrounding places. Got a few of them. And like I say, I wish we would have got them all, but
That's okay because you've built on it year after
yes, we
year.
have. We've added. People have donated lights to us. People have cleaned out their garages or barns and had some old displays. They give them to us, and we rebuild them and put them in the park. So we've added something almost every year.
Bly says this year will be better and brighter than years past, noting citizens will be surprised with the final results.
They come out with a new, brighter LED bulb, so we've been replacing the older LEDs with the newer ones. They're twice as bright, more colorful, and people are really going to be surprised when they see some of the displays this year, how bright and colorful they are.
Yeah.
They noticed some of the changes last year. We put some of the new bulbs in,
Yeah.
but this year we're under 27,000 to make them look a lot brighter. So.
Past Festival of Lights events have included different modes of transportation through the display to get all members of the community involved. Bly is inviting senior citizen groups to travel through with their buses. The Festival of Lights again opens November 17th and runs through December 31st. Lights will be on display from 5 to 9, Sunday through Thursday, and 5 to 10, Friday and Saturdays. A new state agency could be coming to Illinois. The governor is proposing a consolidation of all the state's early childhood programs into one place. Governor J.B. Pritzker has long made childhood education and services a keystone to his administration and says an agency would have a unified focus on better serving families and children.
Anybody as a parent who has tried to go through the system of, getting everything that you need from home visiting to early intervention services to childcare to preschool, some accessing all four of those things, knows that it is an impossible bureaucracy to try to access all of those things. I mean, you just have to, it's at least a half-time job to just do those things, to find those services.
Pritzker says other states have done this. Currently, childhood services are spread out over 3 agencies, from the State Board of Education to Human Services and Children and Family Services. 33 states, including Illinois, are suing Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. Attorney General Kwame Raoul says kids are in crisis and social media bears responsibility for altering the psychological and social realities of a generation of Americans. The lawsuit seeks to use consumer protections laws, putting users, especially young ones, at risk.
And Meta knows that its social media platforms are designed with features that drive compulsive use by young people. Meta knows that its social media platforms have features that interfere with young users' sleep and education. Meta knows that its social media platforms have features that exacerbate issues young people have with depression, anxiety, body image dysmorphia, and thoughts of self-harm.
The lawsuit is seeking restitution from Meta. An Illinois Republican that is applauding President Joe Biden's move to create a tech hub in 32 of the nation's states. The $500 million investment aims to develop new technologies like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and biotech within the ag sector. 2 tech hubs at the U of I in Champaign cover Urbana, Macon, and Piatt counties. And Congressman Darren LaHood weighed in.
I commend the Biden administration for investing in the ag sector and agribusiness. People forget, Scott, agriculture is the #1 industry in the state of Illinois. I'm blessed to have one of the largest ag districts in the country. The more we can invest in technology and innovation and modernization when it comes to agriculture, the better. Our farmers produce the best products anywhere in the world. Our yields continue to get better. And so when we can have the government, investing taxpayer money that helps make our ag sector more effective, more efficient, more accountable, that's a positive thing. And we should have broad bipartisan support for that.
Illinois is receiving $70 million as a part of the investment. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack met Thursday in Arizona with the USDA Equity Commission. Gary Crawford has this report. News time is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We come up on 7:30 on this Friday morning. It's week 1 of the high school football playoffs. Clinton travels to Sullivan, rekindling a former Okaw Valley rivalry with the Redskins, while Monticello travels to Quoin in the first round of the 3A playoffs. Previews of those games and much more come your way next in local sports, streaming live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network News is now.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. strikes back, retaliating for a series of attacks by Iranian-backed groups against American military bases and personnel in the Middle East. A couple of F-16s striking targets in eastern Syria, targets said to be linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Laying the foundation for a full-scale ground offensive, and it could come at any time, Israel's military overnight launched a second incursion into Gaza, hitting Hamas targets. Public schools in Lewiston, Maine, closed for a second day as authorities continue the search for Robert Card, the suspect in a pair of deadly mass shootings in Lewiston. People across the region staying in their homes behind locked doors. Some businesses have closed as well, while the search for Card goes on. Watching Wall Street, the Dow futures down 23 points, NASDAQ futures up 100. This is SRN News.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. It'll be a rekindling of an old Okaw Valley rivalry this Saturday when Clinton travels to Sullivan for a first round playoff game in the Class 3 high school football playoffs. It's been an eventful week for the Maroons, who found out Tuesday they will be without senior quarterback Mason Walker. While disappointed, Coach Ron Bass says IHSA rules are IHSA rules, and they'll move forward with this week.
Well, just what it is, and it's one of those situations I look at it as bad luck. I mean, we had a little scuffle after a kickoff. Nothing. There were no punches thrown or anything like that, but it was getting chippy. And Mason had already completed the day. They already told me they already got the stop. He'd already taken his helmet off, and sees some of our kids going over there and to try to disengage or de-escalate the situation and pull our kids back over. He's going on the field, started grabbing our players and pull them off, getting them back to the sideline. Unfortunately, you can't do that. You can't be a non-participant on the field. And so that is a disqualification, and disqualification counts as a suspension for the next game. So I told Mason, it's bad luck. It's a hard thing to have to tell your senior quarterback that I think it's play the next game. It could be the last game, sort of thing. You could have had your last snap. That's a tough conversation to have. It's also a good learning experience as well too. You follow the rules, and those rules are the rules, and they're there for a reason. So we're going to abide by IHSA policy, and we're going to go into Sullivan without Mason, but we still feel optimistic about our chances. We got some younger kids that will be sufficient at quarterback, and really Mason only plays one side of the ball. He doesn't only play offense, so that's what helps too. So, unfortunate. I'm bummed for him, but I know he's doing a great job. Very practiced, leading up the younger kids, coaching them up. We can call him Coach Walker. As disappointed as he is, he's handled everything in stride. And, you feel bad for him, but we're hoping to play and get a victory and get him back on the field the next week. Fortunately, the IHSA was very quick with we contacted them, and they quickly got back to us, understanding that kind of info. So we knew early on, early Tuesday, I think we knew. So, and it was one of the things we talked about all weekend about what we're going to do about quarterbacks. Here's our possibilities. Been doing a little side motivation with the kids, as far as just trying to help motivate them to get the best out of them. So yeah, I mean, I always have a plan in place for your backup quarterback or backup quarterbacks.
Coach Bass says the Redskins have several weapons and a big quarterback that can get the football to them.
Well, that's a good team. I don't think the score necessarily reflects what the caliber of the team is. They got a good quarterback, a good small, quick running back. They're pretty physical up front, quick up front. I mean, we're bigger up front, but they're quicker. They've got a couple weapons at receiver that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. So definitely going to be a worthy opponent. And, it's playing them last year. Yeah, we played them last year. It's pretty much the same team we played last year. We are also putting a very similar team from last year up there. But, last year they didn't have their quarterback. So they had their backup in. So we're kind of in the same boat they were. Well, last year we had our third-string quarterback with a broken hand in here. But so it's going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to opportunity to try to get the first ball.
And as Coach Bass mentioned, it would be the first playoff win in Clinton football history if they win on Saturday. Game time is 1:30 Saturday afternoon from Sullivan. Hear all the action right here on WHOW and its many digital platforms. For the second time in 4 years, the Monticello Sages will travel to Quoin for a first-round high school football playoff matchup. The Sages are in the postseason for the 13th time in the Coley Welter era. Coach Welter says it's always the goal to make the postseason because it's a special thing for the kids.
Yeah, I think our number one goal every year is that first. I mean, you have multiple goals, but your first goal is get into the playoffs. And you certainly want that for your kids because it's an enjoyable experience. And every year is a new group of kids, and you want that new group of kids to have that experience. So, yeah, 5-4 is not ever where we want to be, but getting into the playoffs is certainly where we want to be, and we did accomplish it.
Quoin offers a challenge for Monticello that should be interesting. The Sages struggled to stop the run, and that's something Coach Welter says Quoin does very well.
They don't do a lot formationally. They're a big buck sweep power team, so there's not a lot of different run plays. They will get into a power I type wildcat where, they run quarterback ISO. I think they ran quarterback ISO 22 out 25 times out of that formation. So there's a limited predictability, but they have a good, large offensive line. They are very fast. The quarterback is adequate thrower, likes to take shots down the field, moves well with his feet. They will call runs specifically for him. So he's a versatile, he's a dual threat type quarterback. So yeah, they're very balanced in what they do. But at the end of the day, if they had to choose, I think they would run the ball.
Game time Saturday is 2 p.m. Hear all the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. In the Class 3A playoffs, first-round matchups, 5-4, Paxton Buckley Loda travels to 8-1 Princeton. 5-4, Prairie Central visits Chicago North Lawndale Charter on Saturday. Saturday at 2, 7-2, Tolono Unity visits 7-2, Williamsville. Saturday at 1, 7-2, Olympia plays host to 6-3, Litchfield. And Saturday at 2, St. Joe Ogden hosts Carlinville. Class 1A first-round matchups. DMAC is at Kewanee Weathersfield Saturday at 1 o'clock. GCMS travels to Aurora Christian tonight at 7. Saturday at 2, 7-2, Heyworth hosts Hardin Calhoun. Saturday at 3, Tuscola travels to Belleville Altoff Catholic. And Saturday at 1, 8-1, Leroy plays host to 6-3, Villa Grove. Class 2A playoff matchups. Saturday at 1, undefeated Tri-Valley plays host to El Paso Gridley. Undefeated Maroa Forsyth hosts Palos Heights Chicago Christian. Saturday at 2. Saturday night, undefeated Bloomington Central Catholic plays host to Mendon Unity. Saturday at 1, undefeated Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond plays host to Quincy Notre Dame. And Saturday at 1, Shelbyville plays host to Trenton Westglen. In Class 4A, 5-4 Lincoln travels to undefeated Rochester tonight at 7. Also tonight at 7, Normal U-High travels to Coal City. Mount Zion plays host to Effingham Saturday at 2:30. Taylorville travels to Murfreesboro Saturday at 3. Saturday at 2, Charleston plays host to Freeburg. And tonight at 7, Peoria Notre Dame is at Kewanee. In Class 5A, 6-3 Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin travels to Calumet City Thornton Fractional North at 1 o'clock. Muhammad Seymour plays host to Troy Triad tonight at 7. Peoria plays host to Joliet Catholic tonight at 7. Saturday at 2, Morton hosts Providence Catholic. And Saturday at 1, Decatur MacArthur travels to Metamora. In Class 6A, tonight at 6:30, Dunlap is at Blue Island Eisenhower. Saturday at 1, Normal West hosts Chicago Simeon. Tonight at 7, Washington plays host to Danville. Saturday at 1, Champaign Centennial is at Crete Monee. Saturday at 1, Chatham Glenwood plays host to Bloomington. And in 7A, Normal Community plays host to Summit Argo tonight at 7. Another week and another huge game with playoff implications for Illinois State as they host Northern Iowa at the Hancock Stadium Saturday. The 4-3 Redbirds are 2-2 in the Missouri Valley, and the 23rd ranked Panthers are 4-3 overall and 3-1 in the Valley. Both teams sitting in the middle of a crowded Missouri Valley standings, needing to stay near the top to keep their playoff hopes alive. The tandem of ISU quarterback Zach Annexted and Daniel Sabovich have become the most prolific pair in recent memory for the Redbirds and one of the best in the Valley. The pair has connected for 3 touchdowns and 170 yards last week against Youngstown State, with Annexted targeting his number 1 wideout a season-high 19 times. The Panthers head into the game with a 4-3 record thanks to a dominating defense and running performance in their win last week in a shutout over number 11 North Dakota State. Game time is noon on Saturday. The Minnesota Vikings will try to build off the momentum of a Monday night win over the Niners, and the Packers will attempt to snap a 3-game skid when the two NFC North rivals face off Sunday at Lambeau Field. Although the teams have combined to win 11 of the last 12 NFC North titles, both sit below 500 this season. The Vikings have given themselves reason for hope by winning their last 2 games and handing the Niners just their second loss of the season. The Packers would like to put those last few weeks behind them. Their slump includes narrow road defeats at Vegas and Denver, both of whom have losing records. Sunday marks the Packers' first home game in over a month. They've not played at Lambeau since a 34-20 loss to the North-leading Lions on September 28th. Green Bay followed the Lions game with a 17-13 loss in Vegas, then the bye week, and falling 19-17 in Denver. The Packers have emphasized the importance of handling the Vikings' frequent blitzes. Minnesota has blitzed the most of any NFL defense, according to Sport Radar. Green Bay's offensive line has done a better job of pass protection than run blocking this season. The Packers did not allow a sack against the Broncos. They have been outscored, though, 63-6 in the first half of their last 4 games and have not scored a first-half touchdown in any of them. Green Bay ranks last in the league in first-half points per game, but leads the NFL in second-half points per game. Minnesota struggles to take care of the football, while Green Bay has trouble forcing turnovers. The Vikings have committed 14 turnovers this season to match the Browns for the second highest total of any team, behind only Vegas. The Packers, though, have just 5 takeaways, matching the lowest output for any team. Game time is noon Sunday. Tyson Benjent and the Chicago Bears travel to Southern California to face the reeling LA Chargers Sunday night. Chicago has won 2 of 3 since a 14-game losing streak, while LA has dropped 2 straight. Benjent, who went 21 of 29 for 162 yards and a touchdown in last week's 30-12 win over the Raiders, gets the start against Justin Fields, who is sidelined due to a dislocated thumb. He'll face a Chargers defense ranked last against the pass at 310 yards per game. Chicago has not won 2 straight since the 2021 regular season finale, while LA is looking to avoid its first 3-game skid since 2020. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert is looking to rebound after struggling in his last 2 starts, during which he has completed only 58% of his passes with 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. Herbert, who is still dealing with a broken middle finger on his left hand, his non-throwing hand, faces a Bears defense that is allowing a league worst fourth most passing yards at 257 yards per game. The Bears have gone with 6 different combinations on their offensive line as well, and it looks like things could be in flux again. Darnell Wright missed practice Wednesday with a shoulder injury that he tried to play through last week, as well as a toe issue. Chicago opened the 21-day window on Wednesday for starting left tackle Braxton Jones to return from injured reserve. The line actually had one of its best performances last week, giving up just 2 sacks after allowing 25 in the first 6 games. The Bears had Cody Whitehair at left guard after Lucas Patrick replaced him at center during their Week 6 loss to the Vikings, then moved Tevin Jenkins to right guard from the left side. If they stuck with that arrangement, they could have more juggling to do when right guard Nate Davis, out for a second week in a row, returns from a high ankle sprain. Linebacker Khalil Mack faces the Bears for the first time since he was traded to the Chargers last March. The last time Mack faced one of his former teams who was starting as a rookie, he set a franchise record for sacks in a game. Mack spent 4 seasons with the Bears and is tied for the 4th most sacks in the league with 7. Bears running back Deontay Foreman is taking advantage of an opportunity with Khalil Herbert on injured reserve and rookie Rashawn Johnson sidelined the last 2 games. The 6-year pro ran for 89 yards on 16 attempts last week and tied a career high with 3 touchdowns, his first as a member of the Bears. He ran for 2 and caught a touchdown pass as well. Foreman, who signed with Chicago in the offseason, had 65 yards on 15 carries against Minnesota. Christopher Bell took the lead with 15 laps to go and held off Ryan Blaney at Homestead Miami Speedway to clinch a spot in next month's championship finale. The penultimate race in the NASCAR season is this Sunday at Martinsville, the final chance for drivers in the round of 8 to punch their ticket to the Final Four. Bell and Kyle Larson are the only drivers locked into the Championship 4, with one race left for 6 drivers to vie for the last 2 spots. Bell led 26 of 267 laps in a chaotic race that featured 25 lead changes. 3 playoff drivers, Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr., all did not finish. William Byron is 3rd in the standings, 30 points clear of the top 4 cutoff, and race runner-up Blaney is 10 points clear. Tyler Reddick is 5th. Truex and Hamlin are 17 points back, while Chris Buescher is 43 off the pace. Bell is the defending race winner at Martinsville. Practice and qualifying is 11:30 Saturday, and race time is 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Sam Mayer held off Riley Herbst and became the first driver to claim a spot in the championship finale with a victory at Homestead Miami Speedway in the Xfinity Series. The victory was Mayer's 4th of the season, all in the last 12 races, and the first on an oval. John Hunter Nemechek is 2nd in the standings, 44 points above the cut line. Cole Custer and Austin Hill are each 13 points clear. Justin Allgaier is 3rd within 3 points of Custer and Hill, with 1 race remaining to earn a berth in the Championship 4. Sammy Smith is 49 back, Chandler Smith is 54 back, and Sheldon Creed is 65 back, all needing a win to advance. Practice and qualifying is 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. Race time is 2:30 Saturday afternoon. The Craftsman Truck Series Final 4 is set. Carson Hocevar earned his 4th victory all this season and the first NASCAR Truck Series Championship appearance with a victory at Homestead Miami. He joins regular season champ Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, and 2021 Series champ Ben Rhodes in the Championship 4. The series heads to Phoenix next week for its championship race. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Scattered thunderstorms likely today, otherwise cloudy skies. Highs level off around 74, southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles.